This episode is proudly sponsored by the Rattlesnake Cable Company. Rattlesnake Cable offers a wide variety of premium U.S. milled cables for the stage and studio. With diverse customizations to fit your unique cable needs, they build dependability and style into your signal path. Rattlesnake Cable Company's products are constructed with all musical needs in mind. The team at Rattlesnake is giving you a chance to win 2 free cables. Just head over to rattlesnakecables.com/giveaway/high-gain to enter. Listeners of this show can also save 20% on all regular priced items by using the code HG20. Rattlesnake Cable Company, the sound choice. John here, and we've got a new sponsor, DistroKid. Now that you've finished your latest Pirate Math Sponge Core Twitch trek, it's time to get it out there so everyone can hear it. DistroKid helps musicians get their music on all the major streaming platforms, and artists keep 100% of their royalties. And because you're a high-gain listener, you get 30% off. Just go to distrokid.com/VIP/high-gain. That's distrokid.com/VIP/high-gain. And now DistroKid has an app. The DistroKid app is available for iOS and Android. You can download it at distrokid.com/app or in the app and Play stores.
Hello, our audio magician partners Isotope have a new creative suite sale. Until July 31st, you can add depth to your tracks with NeoVerb, chop up your audio with Stutter Edit 2, and transform vocals with Vocal Synth 2. All for just $29. Also get 10% off other Isotope software with code FRET10. That's FRET10 at isotope.com. izotope.com. Ruinous loves it, and you will too. Go get it.
Oh, hey, it's me, Ed Peterson.
Hi, Ed. How are you? It's me, John.
I'm doing great. It seemed like I startled you.
Yeah, you come in hot. That's your favorite thing.
I love it, John. I'm excited every time that theme song hits. I get pumped.
You get super shouty.
Jazz, baby. It's the High Gain Podcast.
It is a High Gain Podcast.
We talk about guitars.
Yes.
Boutique builders exclusively only. No normie stuff.
No.
I don't know.
Not only boutique,
Yeah.
but in the case of tonight,
Yeah.
baritone.
Boutique baritones is all we talk about.
That's all we do.
And we are exclusively in West Seattle, Washington.
Except for tonight.
Oh,
We are hooked up via the internet box
okay.
to Guadalupe, California.
Guadalupe? Guadalupe.
We'll have to check on that.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
we've got Justin Abernethy on the line.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Justin, first thing, Guadalupe? Guadalupe.
You know, I don't think either one of those are right. I think it's more like Guadalupe,
Oh.
Oh.
but even that's probably not right.
But at the end, it was an A. Not that I have to be right. I just really like it when I'm right,
I agree with you, Ed.
that I have to be right.
You are right in this instance.
Oh, man. Feels really good. This episode is starting out great.
It's on point.
Yeah.
Justin is in Guadalupe, California, making Abernethy guitars. And we have one of his latest creations,
Yep.
an Abernethy baritone guitar.
I'm colorblind, and it's a funky color, which I love. It's got one pickup. It's offset. Everything you want in a guitar. And it plays the low notes. Even the high notes are low notes.
That sounds good. I like that.
When did you make it?
Oh, man. I'm going to have to refer to Instagram because it's kind of my timeline. Looks like it was finished in March.
March.
I don't really do the baritones, but got the wild hair to do a couple rippers. I had this new kind of like Mosrite inspired German carve thing, and one thing led to another and ended up with a couple baritones. And I specifically wanted these ones to be just the one pickup, just shred monsters, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I have one of your real early, like the orange sickle guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And man, I really like this baritone.
Yeah, that one's got the Jeff Banger, custom Jeff Banger pickup.
Yeah?
Jeff?
Yeah, it's based off of another pickup. I can't remember what it's called, but we call it the Jeff Banger. I guess I call it the Jeff Banger.
Who makes the pickup?
Rob over Gemini did this one.
It's a humbucker and it's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's a hot one.
And it takes the dirt real nice.
I don't know much about Guadalupe. Are you in the desert?
No, we're right next to the beach. I'm right here on the Central Coast.
Central Coast.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it's real nice.
Beverages.
Beverages. Justin, do you have a beverage?
Yeah, I got it. It's the severed lime. Quite delicious right now.
Severed lime. I don't know what that is.
It's just a bubbly water with a hint of lime flavor.
Who's making this?
This is a liquid death beverage.
Oh, I
Got a
see.
little taste of agave nectar in it.
Is there caffeine in it?
No, it's just straight water.
This is one of those rare nighttime high gains.
Yeah.
So I was worried. I didn't want you staying up all night.
No, I was considering making a fresh, delicious cup of some superfood.
Oh, that sounds great.
That mushroom coffee, man, blow your mind.
What do you got, John?
I have an Athletic Brewing Company non-alcoholic beverage, and this one is the Free Wave Hazy IPA, or as we call it here in West Seattle, the orange one.
Yeah, I've got an Athletic Brewing Run Wild IPA, or as we call it here in West Seattle, the blue one.
The blue one.
Nice.
Yeah.
These are non-alcoholic beverages you guys are talking about here?
Yep. Athletic Brewing. I think they're exclusively non-alcoholic.
I dropped the sauce many years ago, and this liquid death, I wouldn't say it has filled that void, but you know what it reminds me of on a hot day.
Yeah. You're probably wondering why I've
Yeah.
called you all here today.
Yeah.
We realized that when we first spoke with you, Justin, it was 2019.
March 27th, episode 47.
Wow.
We have to do the 5-year checkup.
Yeah, we need to see how the 5-year plan is coming along. Check in on our comrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's a 5-year question?
Mm.
What's the biggest thing that's happened to you in the last 5 years?
Oh, man. Wow, not a lot has changed over here, guys. I hate to say.
Oh, no.
Still building these here guitars by myself out in the shop, one at a time. Other than that, just watching the kid grow,
Yeah.
How old's your kid?
Lola, she's 9. She'll be 10 this year in November.
Doubled in age.
Yeah.
How has the business been going in the last 5 years? You're getting a lot of love out there.
Yeah, grateful to still be doing it, man. It's weird. It's been a learning experience every day, every sale, every guitar still. I'm not sure what I thought I would be doing 5 years ago now. I went through a phase of taking custom orders and actually just stopped doing that just recently. Kind of realizing that I'm not a manufacturer like a production line. I'm just one guy, and I'm happier building what my soul demands, like building these guitars and making them available than taking custom orders, because the custom orders usually take me in a different direction than what I want to do next. I only build like 20, 25 guitars a year, and there's only so much time for me between, being dad and working. I'm only going to be able to build a finite amount of guitars a year anyways. I'm just going to build what I want to build and make them available until, I start running a CNC or get help, at which point it'll be easier to do things like that. But for now, I just got to build, man. I just want to dance.
I think that makes complete sense. Then you know that the people that are buying them because they dig how you do it.
Yeah. I do love working with the customers, but a lot of the time I end up spinning my wheels, kind of like doing the opposite of what you just said, and second guessing every move that I make. Oh, is this what they want? Is this the look? I only trip like that when I'm doing something for someone else. When I'm doing my thing, I just go for it and I don't, question anything. I realized I was just getting, way too stressed out. Nobody was like emailing me saying, where's my stuff or anything like that. It was all just, the pressure I put on myself. But at the end of the day, it's just not worth it if I'm going to continue to do it. Also, getting older, I'm 48 and I'm kind of at a point where like I almost need to start utilizing like a CNC or something because physically I'm just getting to the point where like, man, my elbows hurt and my shoulders hurt.
Preach.
Yeah.
Preach.
I still love to do it.
Yeah, any sort of repetitive actions that you end up having to do, I think, take a toll.
Yeah. I've got a story for you guys. At the end of last year, I started getting like hip pain. My left hip started hurting me to the point where like I couldn't really lay on my side. And I went to the doctor and, you got to get a referral to go see this person. Then you got to get a referral to go there. And finally, they get me into physical therapy. And I go to physical therapy for like 3 months doing, hip exercises, stretching, muscle building, whatever. Meanwhile, they can't really figure out, is it sciatic? At one point, they thought I had like a hip spur or something. At one point, they said hip replacement.
Eey.
And I'm freaking out going like, dude, I'm in pretty good shape right now. And this just started hurting, like,
Yeah.
let's try something else first. 6 months later, come to find out it's kidney stone.
Oh.
Yesterday, I had my first urology appointment, and evidently it's still in there.
Oh, my God.
I guess when it comes out. One of the doctors told me that she's had like 6 kidney stones, and she told me the pain is not when you pass it out. Your kidney doesn't stretch. It just splits open,
Oh, my God.
That's what the pain is from. And, the other doctor's telling me, just drink 64 ounces of water a day and the thing should just, shrink down and you'll pee it out. So, for the last couple of weeks, I had a couple weird little instances. I thought, oh, that must have been it. I must have passed it. And go to the doctor yesterday and they're just, I don't think so. I think you need to have another CAT scan because, you still got blood in your urine.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome stuff for you all to hear.
I'm dizzy just hearing the story.
Personally, all I can think about is that scene in Deadwood,
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
I guess I haven't hit that point yet.
Well, okay. It was great talking to you, Justin.
Well, this seems like as good a time as any to do a little follow-up.
Oh.
We have been talking about things like this lately,
Oh.
medical things. I had an appendectomy recently, and I've also had my gallbladder out.
Ooh.
And so Ed and I started wondering out loud, is there anything else you don't need?
Oh, yeah.
What about the spleen? Do you need the spleen?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need the spleen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
We have a super fan of the show who is actually a doctor, Dr. Frank. So I asked him.
Oh.
I'm like, hey, Dr. Frank, do you need a spleen?
Yeah.
And here's what he says. The spleen is an important part of how your immune and blood systems work, but without one, other organs like the liver can take over many of the spleen's jobs. People without a spleen are at greater risk for serious infections, so vaccinations become even more important, as well as prompt medical attention at the earliest signs of infection. Watch out for tick bites and mosquito bites too. So you can live a normal life without a spleen if you take precautions. And he ends with, now get back to guitars.
Thanks, Dr. Frank.
Thanks, Dr. Frank.
John and Ed are a little north of you. John is more north in age than even me. Clearly, John is the oldest.
Yes.
That's why all these ailments are hitting him. This podcast is like 70% guitars and then a good solid 30% old man ailment
Old
stuff.
man stuff.
I was telling the nurse yesterday that the older I get, you start learning shit you don't ever want to learn or hear about. Words like diverticulitis and
Oh.
Yes.
that's some cold stuff.
Oh, you'll find out.
Yeah.
What is the scale length of this baritone, Justin? It seems a little smaller.
That one is 28 and a half.
Ah.
A lot of baritones, are they 30?
They can be.
Okay.
You made 2 of these baritones, right?
Yeah, I actually made this white one first. And I think that I had some plan at one point to unveil both of them at the same time. Man, I struggle anymore with posting stuff on Instagram. It's really like literally my only outlet. I have stuff on reverb sometimes, but it's the one thing that I kind of feel like I need to keep up on, and stuff keeps coming and going. And it's like, oh man, I was going to post that. I was going to make a video about this. And here we are.
If it's working, don't mess with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking about not doing the custom orders and kind of doing what feels right in the moment.
Uh-huh.
Was it sort of a phase where you did a lot of like super cool print guitars, like not exactly Paisley? There's the one you did with the comedian dude, the flowers.
The Dave Hill, yeah.
That one's so cool. There's definitely a section of time, I don't know, 4 or 6 months or something. It seems like a good chunk of the guitars you were doing had like super interesting prints on them.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up. One of my very best friends passed away. He's the guy that got me into guitar, like into guitar playing in, I think it was sophomore year of high school, 1992. And I built this guitar to raise money for the family, basically. And I guess when I did that one, I ended up kind of like, oh, well, I got the stuff out, and I ended up doing that one. And I did a silver and black burst and the Dave Hill one and a gold and green one. I think I did a batch of 5 of them. I'm looking at Instagram right now.
Yeah, they're so cool.
Thanks.
What's that pattern? Is it lace or something?
Yeah, it's just a piece of lace. That particular piece, to me, just looks so generic and so kind of dirty, like it just reminds me of some old lingerie or something. I don't know. There's just something crusty and generic about it. I saw that one. I was like, oh, that's it right there.
Now I'm going to look at that pattern and just think dirty thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't think you're colorblind. I don't know. But like whatever your color palette is that you like, I like.
Thanks.
This one is yellow, a beat up yellow, and the pickguard is actually red and yellow. Is this pickguard poured?
Yeah, that's one of my in-house pick guards.
You're doing a lot of casting and things, right?
Yeah, I kind of built that guitar around that piece of plastic, which is, something that I will usually do. I'll get inspired by the color of something, and a lot of the times it's pick guard, or I'll make a custom pick guard just for that reason and build around that. All the colors kind of build off of that, I try and work within the same color shades.
Is it just the top ply on the pickguard that's poured?
Yeah. I don't really want to give away exactly how I do it, but
Ooh.
I don't have to glue anything. When they're done, they're done.
It's been a minute since we've had the
Hard-hitting journalism?
Exactly. I can't get into that, Senator.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plead the fifth. In probably the best possible way, it kind of looks like a pepperoni pizza.
Oh.
Yeah. It's very red saucy.
I keep coming back in my mind to Ronald McDonald's outfit.
Oh.
Totally.
I'm going to guess that the knobs were cast by you also?
Yeah. Those are some old Bakelite knobs Rob sent that I cast, and now I've pretty much been making them in all different colors.
And the relic job on this thing is so killer.
Thanks, man.
How much time post-finish do you spend on the relic side?
Oh.
Usually once they're finished, I let them sit as long as I can, no less than a week, but sometimes they're out there for a few months. And then once I start actually working on them, if I start on Monday, I'll have it complete, by the end of the week. That'll be, distressing it and making the plastics, the control plate, casting the parts.
Yeah.
I can get all that usually done in a week. So, start on Monday and it's ready to ship usually by the following Monday, because once they're done, I like to let them just kind of marinate for 2 or 3 days, let the setup, the neck, everything adjust.
Do you do some of the distress before you assemble it and then some after?
No, it's pretty much all done prior to assembly. I will distress all the individual parts prior to assembly. So once it goes together and gets the strings on it, at that point, I'm just setting it up.
What is the body on this baritone?
That's a piece of tempered pine.
Ooh.
It comes tempered already. I get boards and make body spreads out of it.
This has got a German carve, and you hadn't really done any of that 5 years ago. Is there something that you've done in the last year or two where you're just like, Ah, that's very cool.
Yeah, for the longest time, I've kind of been trying to figure out what this guitar is. A lot of times when you pick a guitar up, it's hard to put your finger on what it is that feels good to you. You know what I mean? It's usually a combination of things. I've been playing with all these different nut widths and scale lengths and different models, and I feel like I finally have an idea of like what this thing has finally evolved into.
The Sonic Empress feels like the guitar that is the most standard, maybe?
Yeah.
Do you still make Steeds and some of the other shapes, or?
Not really. I kind of stopped building the Steed a few years ago. I do want to go back to the AA. That guitar I really like a lot, and I have a lot of ideas for that one. I don't really accomplish things real quickly here. So every time I stray, it's like a giant turn, and it takes me forever to get back to where I was. The Sonic Empress is probably my favorite one of all of them, and I've really just been doing that.
Yeah.
This thing also sounds great with the dirt. Listen to that, just growly down there.
Where do you got that tone knob?
In the middle.
In the middle.
I'll put the tone all the way up. The pickup sits closer to the bridge.
Do tone down. Give me some jazzy. What about that, Justin?
Earthy.
Yeah, it's got some girth.
Is there some weird thing with builders where CNC made guitars don't count or something?
No. Every guitar company I've ever worked for had a CNC doing something. There's always going to be the need for the final handwork.
Yeah.
There's nothing against it. I've had 2 CNCs for the last 10 years. They're just sitting back there basically as benches. Like, I just don't know how to operate them. I would have to stop and learn how to operate it.
Yeah.
I could barely get this computer working so that we could do this podcast today,
I'm ready to go be an intern.
Let's do it.
It sounds so awesome to learn how to run a CNC machine. How hard could it be? If I had 3 months, we could do it.
Yeah.
John, you in?
Sure.
I'll get the room all cleaned up.
I'll just sleep out under the stars,
Hey, we got some nice property. You got goats, chickens.
cuddle up with the goats.
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah.
Your colors are so broad. It seems like every time you post a new guitar on Instagram or something, I just never expect the color that it's going to be. This yellow or something that's like lilac. How do you make those decisions? Or are you just out in the shop and you're like, I'm going to do this today?
I always end up getting inspired by like just the color of the pickguard or some knobs or something. It's usually like just one thing, and it almost never goes as planned. I kind of let the guitar speak for itself a lot of the time. And if it's just not jiving, then I just, I have to go to plan B and just figure out what looks awesome. It's the most important part in a way because it's what attracts your eye. And it's like the least important part because, tonally it doesn't do anything.
What are you doing next that you can tell us about, Justin? What's coming up?
I sent a guitar today off to David Hunter at the Guitar Player magazine for a review. That'll be coming out eventually.
That is super awesome.
Pretty cool. Other than that, hoping to be at NAMM in January. Something I'm looking forward to. It's a little ways off.
I like California.
I like California.
I love California.
Well, thanks for checking in with us at the 5-year mark, Justin.
It's been a pleasure, man.
Mid 2029, we'll check back in the CNC machine, see if you've cracked the manual yet.
Yeah.
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 Justin?
Yeah.
People should go to Abernethy. Spell that for us.
Abernethy, Abernethy.
Instagram, I think, is the place to go, right?
That's where you're going to find the most fresh, up-to-date action.
And it's got links to your reverb and abernethyguitars.com.
Meanwhile, we've got this baritone, and you know what, Ed?
What?
I think we're going to convince Uncle Frank to hang this thing on the wall.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm kind of like
Eyeballing it.
I'm doing mental math right now. I love it,
He's
Justin.
kind of staring at it.
It's really great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Where can people find us, John?
Oh, we are on thehighgain.com.
Uh-huh.
We're also on the High Gain on Instagram.
We should post some pictures of this guitar.
Yeah, I'll take lots of pictures of this and we'll put them on the Instagram.
Okay.
And you can find us on the Ruinous Media Network of music-related podcasts, along with all the other podcasts that they do.
Sure. Justin.
Yes, sir.
You did a great job.
Well, you guys did too.
Me specifically, right?
Yep, it was just awesome hearing your voices again. It's been a long time.
Thank you so much, Justin.
Awesome that you guys had me on again. Really appreciate it. And thanks for looking after the baritone, man.
You got it.
Absolutely.
Talk to you later.
All right.